Hey everyone, welcome to Soul Embers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all well. My name's Andrea. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, holistic coach, holistic practitioner, and founder of Soul Embers. Everything you guys need to know about me, the channel, the services we have to offer, they can be found on our website, and I've popped the link in the description box below for you. So, water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Today I'll be doing a reading. I'll be channeling messages for you. And I'm wanting to, put you in a mindset that has you receiving in the year ahead. And look at any potential blocks that are preventing you from really bringing into fruition whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. So let's have a look and see what the cards have to say for you. Also, guys, my my ring light just stopped working out of the blue, and I'm using a lamp and it's casting a bit of a shadow. I'm really sorry if it's a little bit dark. Let me see if I can actually, uno momento, let me see if I can adjust it a little bit for you. No, that did absolutely sweet FA. All right. We'll just have to make do, I think. So, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. What is the message for you? What are we dealing with? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, water signs. There is an element, an energy of determination that I'm getting. I feel that you guys have come a really long way, emotionally especially, and there is this element of strength and resilience that has been built. And you're really owning the journey that you're on. It feels like you've put in a lot of hard work, water signs, a lot of hard work to build yourself a stronger, let's just say it's like I mentioned it's a resilience that I feel within the heart space. And you're starting to really acknowledge the strength within you and the power that you hold. Many of you may not have felt emotionally strong up to most recently, let's say. However, circumstances are starting to show you that you're far more resilient and willing to take risks when it comes to matters of the heart, because you know that you have what it takes to work through them. So you know what, hats off, that's an amazing energy and a realization, huge accomplishment. So take off your masks. Wow, what is this about? Is there something you're holding back, guys? Is there something that you're not communicating or that you're not saying? Is there an element of vulnerability you still feel that you're not willing to openly discuss, show, because you fear of the repercussions of how it's going to be received? This is old energy. That's what I'm getting. This is definitely a message that I have to highlight for you. If there is if you find yourself slipping into thoughts and self-talk about you wanting to hold back your true intentions, it has to do with the person that you were and not the person that you are today. You have grown so much since that time that you have exactly what's needed in order to exercise effective and impactful communication when it comes to saying how you feel, taking that mask off and speaking your truth. You're not the same person. So perhaps when you feel that energy starting to, all those thoughts starting to creep into, starting to creep in, it's really important that you take stock of where you are, where you were, and how far you've come. Don't let those thoughts overpower you and act as overshadow your progress. Don't let yourself slip into those patterns, right? So let's have a look and see what the definition from the book is. And I'm moving the card around because the lamp is reflecting and it's doing my head in. How is that? I like it there. There we go. That seems to be okay. So you cannot get the love and attention you are craving by pretending to be someone you are not. Why are you so frightened to be honest with yourself and others? Do you feel that you will lose friends and opportunities by showing others your imperfections, fears, and vulnerabilities? Are you constantly doing things to please others, even if doing this does not work for you? This card indicates that you need time to get to know yourself and what is important in your life. You will know that you are evolving, pardon me, when other people's judgments of you no longer impact you. If you have an incredible talent, believe in yourself. Don't hide your greatness because others feel envious or resentful. Remember, every great leader and people who loved them and believed in them, every great leader had people who loved them and believed in them, as well as those who doubted and disliked them. So the message I'm getting here, again, I feel like this is kind of old energy. I keep on getting that feeling, you realize, I think it's very apparent to you that you cannot reach that emotional connection that you're trying to reach with whomever, whether it be friends or if there is an intimate partner in mind. You can't reach that and whatever it is that you're craving by pretending that you're someone you're not. Just so you can enable a situation because it's comfortable, it suits you at the time, or you want to prolong what could be something that, isn't going to end in a way that you'd like it to end. So you're trying to you're just prolonging the situation, let's say. I think those of you that I'm connecting with, you're very well aware of this. And I think you've kind of worked through that frightened to be honest with yourself and others. I think you are now able to be honest, and you're in the process of facing the fear of what this changed version of yourself means though. Do you feel that you will lose friends and opportunities by showing others your imperfection, fears, and vulnerabilities? I feel that you are ready to openly discuss certain things. You will be saddened by the loss of those friends and opportunities that matter to you. But at the same time, you know that there's no looking back, there's no excuse. You're really taking responsibility for the part that you play in your life, water signs. And I love this because that's the first step. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day. This is going to take some time to work its way through from your inside world in a way where it's then communicated to those surrounding you, allowing you to manifest the environment that you want, the relationships that you want, and attract the opportunities that you want to attract, right? Are you constantly doing things to please others, even if doing this does not work for you? I think that you're also aware of what's not working for you, and you're aware that you want to please others because you want to keep them close to you. There are aspects that you really, appreciate, aspects of these relationships or this relationship that you really appreciate. But when you start to weigh things up, you realize what does not work for you might not work for you in a really big way. Maybe they're really big deal breakers, right? And so in doing that, you've decided, understanding this and seeing it, again, that sense of responsibility kind of washes over you, and you can't ignore this and you want to make certain changes. So this card indicates that you need time to get to know yourself and what is important in your life. Now, this is where we're currently at. This is current energy. It feels like current energy. You are currently evolving when other people's judgments of you no longer impact you. They may still be hurtful, guys, let's be honest. Even for someone that will say what they feel and is someone that's willing to take any backlash, it can still be very disappointing when, those that are close to us decide to take a different path. But there's no fear associated with that loss. It's more of a sense of disappointment, right? You now need time to get to know yourself. You have changed and there is a new version of you that you need to become acquainted with. That you need to understand how this new version of yourself actually ticks. What's important? What is the fine line in the sand? What are the deal breakers? There were things that you would entertain before that I feel you're not entertaining anymore. So getting to know what you won't entertain is probably the first step to then thinking about, okay, if I'm not entertaining this, then where does the buck stop? What at this moment do I want to entertain? You don't have to have all the answers right now. They will slowly start to come to you, but really identifying what you will no longer put up with is the first step to then uncovering what you will put up with. So let's pull out a card and see what Spirit's message is for you when it comes to this situation, and how can we work with this energy in a way that will allow you to let go of those preconceived thoughts that you've had to this point that no longer align with you. They're outdated, right? If you have something important to say, say it when you were genuinely free of anger. Boom. Maybe you're in a position where you have had enough. These changes have been happening within you for a very long time. But what you've got to remember is that if you haven't stepped into this new vibration or frequency of who you are, those surrounding you will still don't understand the changes that have happened within yourself. Your tolerance may not be what it used to be, and they're not aware of that. So their responses will remain the same. You may feel that there have been so many changes within yourself. You are not the same person. They're not yet to see that, and that will take time. And those of the people that matter to you, you will need to exercise, I guess, a level of patience with them and honesty and yes, definitely honesty, definitely taking that mask off so that they know where you stand. People can't read minds, right? We have to remember that. And so being honest about what you're currently experiencing, even if you don't have the answers, is key. Now, if this has to do with an intimate partnership, I feel that they're really rubbing you up the wrong way when it comes to certain things that you've previously put up with. Like you've reached tipping point. And again, I feel that you are extremely hard on yourself in the sense that you realize that you should no longer entertain these things because they're not aligning with you. They're not going to set you on the path of the person you want to measure up to be. And so you may be reacting in a way that is resentful. You may be reacting you may be reacting with anger and outbursts. That is not going to help you step into the vibration that you're wanting to. So knowing how to put the lid on a discussion so you can process the information, and while you're processing that information, free yourself from being resentful towards them is going to be really helpful. Much easier said than done, but being able to say that at least, look, I feel uncomfortable about this right now. I don't have the answers, so I can't have the discussion. I need to process it. I need to identify how exactly I'm feeling and what's working for me and what isn't working for me that's triggering me. And I need some time to do that. I'll come back to you when I've figured it out so we can have a proper conversation. Because a lot of the time we feel that we need to respond immediately when something's brought to our attention, and we may not have the answers. We may not understand how we're feeling and why we're feeling what we're feeling, so we just respond. And it's frustrating, and frustration builds because we're not able to communicate effectively. It's not received in the way we want it to be received. And, it all goes to shit from there, kind of thing. So that's what that's what you're trying to avoid. That's Spirit's message for you, to put you in alignment, true alignment, into the new version of you. So you can really start to close this off and finally find that confidence that is needed to take off that mask, right? So I'm going to close this off with a couple more messages, guys, a couple more cards. If this reading resonates, please do comment below. Your comments help the channel. I love reading them. I love reading about your stories. They help me connect with your energy, and I use that for future readings. And let's be honest, everyone, we've got inspiring stories to share, and they can be of help to other viewers as well. So, all right, do we have a message for the water signs? Interesting energy, this is about closure. This is about an ending of a very challenging time for you, mentally exhausting, a lot of petty arguments, a lot of, showing up to every fight, and even sabotaging. So looking for reasons to be upset, looking for reasons to distance yourself, spending a lot of time thinking about all the reasons why things don't work. This is a very, it's a self-sabotaging type of energy that I'm getting, guys, and I feel that it's coming to an end. You no longer want to live that way, and you realize that your mindset has been keeping you from seeing what life has to offer you. Perhaps your mind was set on having things a particular way within a particular scenario, whether it be within work or within friendships or within an intimate partnership. And you're starting to realize that, people are more complex than that. Just because we see things a particular way, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can have the outcomes that we're looking for exactly how we're looking for them. And so a lot of time was spent trying to analyze certain actions, trying to analyze certain conversations that took place, and realizing that things weren't sitting well for you. But finally, I feel that that period where, a lot of that negative self-talk, a lot of those fear-based inner dialogue is definitely coming to an end, and you can finally put that behind you. I feel, water signs, you're coming up to a very peaceful period, and the message I have for you is, a lot of the time that was spent overthinking, overanalyzing, and creating a false sense of reality based on your own perceptions, let's say, a lot of that was based on the fact of who you really were and how you really felt, versus what you actually said about who you were and how you actually felt. So the reality is, the reality you've created for those surrounding you was very different to the reality you were experiencing. And I feel that now it's come to that point where you're starting to bridge the gap and unify, and trying to unify the person that, or trying to help those that matter to you see the person that you really, really are. So it's a very defensive type of an energy. It's a very offstandish, and it's a very, basically you will stand up for what you believe in. And so you did show up to every argument because you felt that you needed to maintain your boundaries, what mattered to you. The only thing is that the approach you were taking was based on a person that you had presented. It was your representative. It wasn't the truth of who you really were and what you really wanted. So a false sense of reality had been created based on that, right? But we're moving into a much more a healthier cycle, a healthier time where things are a little bit more harmonious, you know, where things are starting to balance out. You will start to receive what it is that you truly desire as soon as you start to let go, create space by letting go of those things we discussed earlier that, you know, cause you to put on that mask, and directing your energy to conversations at the right time to get the result that you want. This is about playing it smarter to get the result that you want, right? All right, guys, I hope you found that helpful. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you for your next lot of readings. Bye.